So first of all, what you want to do is open a new movie up, choose movie, not trailer, and select your footage. Now I've done all that here, if you like, you can see, which is why, one second, yeah, which is why I'm not showing you all those steps. So after you've done all that, this is where you start editing. Now if you look up here, you can see that there's a huge palette. These are all the editing tools that you can use to make your footage look better. The one that we're going to be using today is this one right here. It's called color correction, and what this does is makes the colors in your footage pop out. So what you want to do now is click this, and after you've clicked that, you can see that there's many options here. I'll be explaining what each of them do. So first of all, this white button here, it makes your highlights look brighter or darker depending on what you want. So for example, all these highlights that you can see, you can make them brighter or darker, whichever way you like. This on the other hand makes your shadows darker or lighter. So all these parts here, it'll make it darker or lighter. All this here, it'll make it darker or lighter, and it'll enhance some of the contrast in it. And if you don't think that's enough contrast, what you can do is use these buttons here. This will add or decrease the contrast in your footage. So, and they both do the same thing. So you can click any of them and they'll both move together. And now when we move over to this side, you can this is basically saturation, color saturation. So it makes your clip more colorful or less colorful. If you go all the way to the left, it becomes black and white. If you go all the way to the right, it becomes very, I guess, very fake looking. And it adds so much color to your footage that it makes it look grainy. So you don't want to be at this extreme, but it's your choice to be at this extreme, because if you want black and white footage, that's what that's for. But you can also just adjust it a little bit to make your footage have a little bit more color, a little less color. And now the last button over here is temperature. So if you want to make your footage look like it's in a warm area, it's warm outside, you want to change the mood into some more of a happy mood, you can bring this over to the right. It'll add yellow to it, showing, kind of displaying a more hotter temperature. Now remember that this has many ways to use it. You don't have to always use warm for one clip or cold for one clip or another clip. You can maybe one person might want to make this look more of a cooler, more of a colder, cooler sort of clip, and if you want to do that, you would bring it to the left to make it look more cooler. This is the purpose of this. Now we move. Now that you guys know what each of these do, we move on to actually making them look cinematic. So what I wanna now remember that all of this depends on how you want the footage to look. For example, if you want it, there's many ways to. There's many variations of the same footage after you edit it. So for example, if you're in a cooler place, you want to make it cooler, you can adjust it that way. If you want to make it hotter or brighter or whatever you want like that, you can adjust it another way. There's no set way to adjust it. But for this case, I want it to look more like it's been shot in the afternoon, which it has, but it's not enough, so I want that look, and for that I'll be doing that type of editing. But it works the same way for all of them. You just change a little bit of the functions to make it look another way. So what I want to do first of all is change the brightness. I feel like it's too bright and you can't see it yet, but after I'm done editing you'll see the difference. There's in every clip there's like a layer of white, and that layer of white makes all the colors in your clip look damp. Then it makes it look, the colors look very dull, and it also makes your details not look very sharp. Now even if you just adjust these two, it makes your clip stand out a lot, because that white, that very light white layer on top is kind of gone, so it makes your colors pop out and your details pop out. So what I'll do first is adjust the highlights. So I feel like it's too bright, so I'm gonna make it go a little bit this way. As you can see, this has already changed a little. It's turned darker, so it makes it look more like it's shot in afternoon, more of a sun compared to this, right? Compared to this. So this is what I like. And I want to make this part a little darker to make this part stand out more, because this is where the focus is, around this part right here. So I'll make it slightly darker, and you can already see that color, that white on top, is fading away as soon as I make this darker. It makes it look more realistic, and it makes it look way more cinematic. So I'd like a little bit, like around here. This should be good. This is where I feel it's good. And now I'm just gonna tamper with the contrast a little to see if it looks better or worse with more contrast or less contrast. So first I'll go this way. No, it just adds more white to it, so I'm gonna probably make a little bit more contrast. This is pretty good right here. So now you can already see that there's a huge difference between the first clip and the second clip. Now it's your choice if you want to make it adjust the temperature first, or if you want to adjust the saturation first. It's always up to you. Always up to you, whatever you want to say. I'd like to adjust the color first because it doesn't really matter. So I'll adjust the color first, but remember, you can do it any way you want. So what I'll do is see if it looks better, brighter, or darker. I don't want to remove the color because the sun's color makes it look better. So I'm gonna probably keep it the same or add a little more. I think I'm gonna add a little more. Yeah, when I add a little more, you can see that this pops out a little more. So like, what I'll do is add a little more. That's about it. And since it's shot in the afternoon, I don't want it to be cool. I want this part to stand out. To do that, I'll bring this over to the right. So like a teensy bit. Wait. That should be it. Remember that you don't have to adjust each of these functions all the way to its one max. You can adjust a little bit, and it really puts a huge difference on your footage. You don't need to adjust it all the way to one side. It'll just look bad unless it's in the right proportions. So now that's all you need to do for your footage. Like, literally, now you're done. This looks way more cinematic than the other one, and I'll show you the difference in just a minute. Now I'll edit this one, and for example, if your footage is changing in focus, you'd like to focus on the part which is there for the longest, because that's what people are gonna pay attention to. So you wanna click on that part and start editing from that part as your base, because that's the main part in your footage or in your clip. I don't know why I keep on saying footage, doesn't matter, your clip. So I'm gonna stop right here. First footage and first clip, and I'll show you the difference right here. So let me bring this here. Let's bring this one here. And let's bring this one over here. So now let me show you the difference between the first one and the second one. So this is the first, this is a non-edited one right here, right? And boom, this is the edited one. This is the edited one, non-edited one. Edited, non-edited. You can see that there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. This is the edited one. No, I mean, sorry. This is the non-edited one, and this is the edited one. You can see that the colors really stand out and make your clip look so much better and so much more cinematic. Boom, 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 boom. And let's look at the other one also. So this is the non-edited one, non-edited version. It's almost like a tongue twister. And this is the edited version. Non-edited, edited, non-edited, edited, non-edited, edited. The edited one looks so much more sharper, brighter, and in all ways more cinematic. And this is how you make your footage so much more cinematic by using a free software and using all free tools. And remember, a free software is really good if you know how to exploit all its functions to their max, because you can make a really good film, like a short film, a video. You can make a really good video with a free software and a really basic software also. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. See you later.